Okay, so you have your topic, your research questions, and you have some search terms. So now it's time to find some quality sources that will give you good information about your topic. So, some places where you can use your search terms. You already use Google probably pretty frequently. The benefit of using Google as a search engine is that it can find a variety of information for you. However, the problem is that using Google, you have to do a lot more work yourself to figure out if you have quality information that you're looking at. And we're going to look at how to figure out if it's quality in a little bit. The library databases are another great option for finding information, and this is a link to the databases. If you are on McNeil's campus, you should be able to access those without any problem. If you are at home, you can email the librarians and ask them for the password to access it at home. So the benefit of the databases is that the library pays for these resources, and they're pretty much guaranteed to be reliable sources. You're not going to get Yahoo answers and Quora answers. These are all going to come from things that have been printed, published, and fact checked. But the problem is that sometimes the reading level of these texts might be a bit more complex, but I'm going to show you a way to kind of work around that. And then another option too is the library catalog, meaning that you have access to all these physical books in the library, and you could potentially get your hands on a hard copy of a book if you're tired of looking at a screen. And sometimes those books have more specific information too. But the downside is that you actually have to go to the library, check out the book, return it, and all that. So we're going to start by talking about the databases because they give you such good information. So what I recommend using is the Student Resources in Context. And I'm actually going to take you through all these steps kind of on my own. So we're going to talk about all these things. We're going to talk about how to get there. We're going to talk about how to search and some of the tools you can search for or with, and then what it actually looks like in this specific database, and then what to do with it once you're done. The database has some cool tools that can help you out. Okay, so first, we are going to open a new tab. We are going to search for the McNeil High School Library. And click on that. Then you're going to click here on Research Resources. Then we're going to scroll down, and this is what you want right here, the Student Resources in Context. So remember, my topic that I'm working on for our examples is storytelling, and I'm just going to type that in, storytelling. Probably should consult my list of search terms, but okay. Now, remember, I said one of the problems is that some of these things are going to pop up and the reading level is going to be just way too high for me. The big words, really long, complicated sentences, and sometimes I'm not feeling up for that. So if I want to kind of limit how complicated those texts get, I can click on this advanced search bar, and I'm still going to search for storytelling. But if I scroll down, there's this thing about Lexile range. And if you've taken a Read 180 or a System 44 class, you probably have an idea of what your Lexile level is. So you could select that. Or you could also say, well, I want to have a range between 200 Lexile and let's say 850. 850 is about the level of the text that we read in class. That's about the level of what Make Lemonade was too. So I'm going to search between this range. Now it's going to give me a smaller number of things to choose from, but at least it'll be things that are more on my reading level. So here are some things I like about this database specifically. It breaks down the types of information for you, and you have permission to use audio and video sources in your research. So we have audio files, so I could listen to something. We have a couple of videos about storytelling, news articles, magazines, academic journals. So one thing I know is that academic journals are probably going to be a little more complex. So I feel a lot more comfortable looking at like news articles and things like that. So let's say that I'm looking at it and I like this one. Oh, that doesn't even have the full text, so can't use that one. Let's see. Reader interview, the spoken word. I'm going to click on this news one. So those were only the first results that popped up. I'm going to see what else there is. Okay. A lifetime of storytelling. One of the things I was interested in is like, who are some popular or famous storytellers? And Raymond Carver, sounds like, is a storyteller. So let's say I read this and I like it. Well, one of the tools that can help me with reading it is I can select this listen, and hopefully this will work. It should read it to me slowly. It sounds a little robotic once it starts, but it'll also help you with that, like if it feels like it's too difficult to read. So while that's loading, I'm going to look over here. Some other things you can do is you can highlight in here. So if I click here, please close the read speaker. How do I close it? Stop. No, I don't know why it won't let me do that. Okay. You should be able to use the highlighting though. And then the other thing that I love about using the databases is that one of the things you're going to be required to do when you start taking notes is give bibliography information about your sources. And this will do that for you. So if you click on citation tools, all you have to do when you start taking notes to show that this is the source you're getting your information from is highlight this, copy it, and go into your note page. And where it says source, you just paste that in. And that work is done for you, which is awesome. Okay, so then the next thing, so if you've used the databases and you don't like the information you're getting, or you feel like you've gotten all you can from there, by all means you can go to Google. It's a little trickier to find quality sources with Google, but we are going to do a lesson about how to find quality sources with Google. So at this point, you can pause this video and move on to the evaluating sources video. And you will have an assignment to complete for that as well.